How's it going, everybody? Doing a request here today. This is my sports game collection. They were asking about like the wrestling games and stuff like that, which I don't have a ton of, like, not traditional, like other non-traditional, I guess, sport games, not like the big ones. But I'm doing all my sports games. I did do a sport collection video a while back. So there's definitely some more games in this collection, most of which, probably half of the collection is Sega Genesis ones, but, or at least a third of it. But I got a bunch of games here. I'm just going to start grabbing them, talking about some briefly, and whatnot. But here we go. The two Super Famicom ones I have. This is the Dodgeball. I forget what its exact name is, but it is Dodgeball. Super fun game, just like the NES one. I don't know. The first one is like countries. I can't remember if this one is like leagues or whatnot. I played some of it when I got it, and then I stopped. The gameplay's fun. I know in the original, if you hit the opponents enough times, their meter, they die. They literally die. They like go up to heaven. But it's Dodgeball, nice cool backgrounds. You're playing in like different countries and stuff. And then you have like your squad is also on the outside of the opponent's area. So if the ball gets over to them, they could also throw it at the opponent as well. It's just they're fun games. I'll talk about the other one as well. But they're fun games. Tecmo Super Bowl 2 Special Edition. I got this one on the Super Famicom because it was a lot cheaper than the SNES version, or the Genesis version for that matter. It's Tecmo Bowl. It's classic. Super fun gameplay. It's got the players. It keeps the stats and shit. I think in this one, and definitely in the third one as well, I think in this one you can play different seasons also. I can't remember. What year, this is like 94, spec 94, 93, 92 seasons, and the players, how they were on those teams. It's Tecmo Bowl. Tecmo Super Bowl, Tecmo Bowl. It's just super fun gameplay. With all the players and the stats. Now I'll go to the Super Nintendo games. Super WrestleMania. There's wrestling back then, you know, there was Royal Rumble. I think there was the arcade game, there was a Raw game, I believe. It's pretty fun. Who's in this one? Hogan, Psycho Sid. What was he, Sid Vicious? I forget what it was. Macho Man, Jake Roberts. I don't know if that's Demolition or the other one, Legion of Doom. Wait, was it their name? Road Warriors. Maybe it was the Road Warriors. Like I said, I don't know. I forget it. There's a couple of those. Shawn Michaels might be on here. Possibly Razor Ramon. It did have a different, and so did Royal Rumble. They had different lineups on the Genesis and the Super Nintendo. All the sprites, though, the characters all look good and stuff. I think there's tag team in here, regular match, I forget. This one was giving me trouble working. It would work like from time to time, and I don't know, some games like aren't fully compatible with the Retron. Some will occasionally work and then not, and then most work straight up. Super Tennis, love this game. I've always loved this game. I had this game back when I had my Super Nintendo back in the early 90s. Just super fun tennis game. And so I need to get original tennis on the NES because that's great too. Super fun, it looks nice. It uses the, the mode 7 to like turn the court around when you're switching sides. You can play doubles, you can play regular. I don't think there's a tournament in this. Just super fun gameplay. It's one of the best tennis games you're gonna find. Baseball Simulator 1000. This game's awesome. Baseball Simulator 1000 is on the NES. This is super. This one, like, you hit special pitches and special at bats. Like, you can do like kind of a rocket pitch, or you can have a rocket hit where you can just boom, you hit it and it just goes right out of the park. Super fast pitch. You can do ones that like this and stuff, or one that look like mirror images, like 3, and it's really only one's the actual ball. actually an interesting game, and it's actually really cool. The gameplay is super fun. I think there's some fielding enhancements too. I can't remember. Definitely hitting and pitching though, and it's fun. It's actually good gameplay though too. It's not like bad gameplay. It's good gameplay with like crazy pitches and you know your bats missile hit, or it might be some other ones. But awesome game. Check this out. I never played the one on the NES. NCAA basketball. I used to love this game. I picked it up not too long ago. I had it back in the day, as well as Stanley Cup Hockey. They're both made by Nintendo, and it has a really cool kind of 3D-ish view of the courts. Very Mode 7. A really fun game. Obviously, these are not. They have a bunch of teams, but they're not the real players. But it's actually a solid basketball game. It's fun to play. It was only $3. I did have it back then. I might actually still have the manual floating around. I'll have to look. If you have a Super Nintendo or a Retron and you like basketball games, check this one out. And the last Super Nintendo game one, you'll see this one come up again on the Genesis. NBA Live 95. This is the first one with the NBA Live name. It went Lakers. You'll see these ones. The Lakers vs Celtics games. The Lakers vs Bulls vs Lakers. Bulls vs Blazers. Then NBA Showdown. Then it turned to this, and it became that angled view. Cool game. I used to play a ton of this one. The Bulls and the Rockets. I mean the Rockets and the Knicks. Those are in the finals. Got Robert Horry there. Looks like John Starks. Charles Smith. Might be Olajuwon there as well. Super fun game. That angle, that view worked well. I used to play this a ton of this. I think I mentioned this story before. I was tripping out once. I think it was in like 11th grade. 10th or 11th grade. It was probably 11th. And I went home and I just popped this in and started playing it. And I was chucking threes up from half court. And I was hitting like half of them. But I swear, I could see the rotation in his wrist when he shoots. I'm like, this is insane. It's a really cool game, though. Let's grab the 3 Game Boy. Well, one's a Game Boy Advance game. Motocross Maniacs. Cool kind of dirt bike game. Going over loops and stuff, doing crazy shit. You get nitro boosts and stuff. It's super fun. Looks really nice, too. NBA All-Star Challenge 2. I picked this up probably was a year ago. It was cheap. No, I got this off of eBay, I believe, but it was still cheap. It's actually a really cool game. I have the original one too. It'll come up soon. You get players from different teams. Like, you get one player per each team. Like, we got Drexler on here, Karl Malone, Olajuwon, Ewing, Chris Mullin, and I think that's Dominique Wilkins. This one actually has dunk, like slam dunk contest type thing in it, which is crazy, and it actually works fairly well, which is also nuts. And this was only on the Game Boy, I think. This was not on the Super Nintendo or the Genesis. It was fun though. You play one-on-one, free throw, 3-point, little tournament, one-on-one tournament. Cool game. And the original Motocross Maniacs. I had this back in the day, but I got this one from East End Gaming. Super fun game. I used to play the shit out of this back in the day on my original Game Boy. Look cool graphically, same thing. You know, as you're going through loops, you're doing stuff, you're zooming. You're racing other people, you're zooming through stuff, getting nitro boosts, and he keeps... Like, if you don't get nitros, or you don't have any at some points, like this, you can't even progress because you can't get into a loop or whatever, or get around it, you'll keep falling out. Fun gameplay with a really good soundtrack as well. This was under Ultra, which was Konami's dummy company to put out games. And then this one's Konami. I don't know. I don't have the second ones on the Game Boy Color. I do not have that one. Alright, I'm going to grab the original NES. Here's baseball. With a nice, it looks like probably a cigarette burn. This is one I got at that garage sale. This is actually a pretty good game for like Nintendo's first baseball game. You don't control the fielders in this one, I'm pretty sure. The ball just goes to them and they either get it or they don't. You have to throw it, but you don't like control the fielders in the field in terms of running to get the ball. It's actually a pretty decent game that still kind of holds up gameplay-wise. Oddly enough, that freaking burn. There had to be a cigarette or something just sitting on that for a few minutes. Unbelievable. Smoke-free home. WrestleMania for the NES. This is another one. 3 of these. Actually, all these board games came from that garage sale. WrestleMania. I played some of this. It was okay. Got the manual in there as well. Let's see who's in this one. Hulk Hogan, Hulkster, and Hulkamania are trademarks of the Marvel comic groups licensed exclusively to Titan Sports. Yeah, they couldn't use it. They had all that. That's crazy. They have little bios for each player. Where are they? Oh, you got Hulk Hogan, obviously. You got Andre the Giant, Macho Man, Randy Savage, Honky Tonk Man, Bam Bam Bigelow, and the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. There's there. Tells you how to do this moves. Which gets 6 wrestlers. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. It's alright. It's not the best, honestly. There were some other wrestling games for the NES, I think, like Cage Match. It might have been a WCW game too, but of course you got Hogan on the cover there. And here's the first Super Dodgeball. Awesome game. This one also had the manual. I played a ton of this when I was a kid. I love this game. What countries are in here? The Pro All-Stars. Team USA's first opponent. The winner here will represent the United States in the World Cup. You got England, India, Iceland, China, Japan, Kenya, and the USSR. Back then, this is before the fall of the Soviet Union. Got stats for the players, which is kind of actually cool. Super fun game. It's just fun. Like I said, you hit the people, and if their meter goes down, they die. They literally spirits go up to heaven. And you get different backgrounds for each country you're in. There'll be like something known from that country, like I think it's like maybe Big Ben in the background in England, stuff like that. The Kremlin, shit like that. The Taj Mahal in India, like that kind of stuff. It's a fun game though. It's just a fun sport game, or fun game in general, especially 2-player. Last NES game, another classic. Double dribble. That's how it used to say it. Freaking bug flying around it. That's how it says when you put it on. Double dribble. And it's also for, because Konami did Blade Steel. Blades of Steel! I need to get this Blade Steel's classic. Classic basketball game. Apparently, like Family Guy, there was the thing you could do, like these corner threes. You could just chuck them up, it goes in every time. Every time you dunk it, there's like a little kind of cut scene of the person dunking. It's actually a fun basketball game, to be honest with you. Yeah. Double dribble. Oh, what should I do next? Let me do this PSP game. Virtua Tennis World Tour for the PSP. I did play some of this. It was fun. I love one of probably my favorite tennis game is the first Virtua Tennis on the Dreamcast. Because these are Sega games, but Sega was done making consoles, so they didn't make them those systems. Although it turned into something else. Did they have a 2K set tennis game? It's fun. This one has, like, I was playing this, like, this block destroying mini game. You get points for hitting the different colors. But you have pros here, obviously. We got Federer, Tim Henman, Carlos Ferrero, Tommy Haas, Roddick, Sharapova, Venus Williams, Daniela, I don't know how to say her last name, Hatchanova. Fun arcade-ish gameplay. It's fun. They're fun games. I got this one fairly recently from the some books in the East End Gaming. Let me do the 2 PlayStation ones I have sitting here too. NFL Street and NFL Street 2. These are both garage sale pickups. Just like the NBA Streets. They're kind of... Midway was doing the Hits and the Blitz series, Slugfest. These are their ones. EA's ones. They do not make this. I think they made a third one. I think NBA Street became like NBA Ballers. There's 3 of those. There's FIFA. You know, just different kind of football. I think it's... I don't know what it is. Is it 7-on-7? I think they have most of the players. You can put your own lineups in. There's that sound. Neither of these have manuals, so it's really intense. There's nothing muffling this. Shockey here and Ricky Williams. Was it Jamal Anderson down there? I don't know. Couldn't have been. Somebody told me who that was last time. It can't be Jamal Anderson because he would have been retired by now. Or is it supposed to be some... I don't know. Whatever. Pretty fun. I'd play a ton of these. And they're scratch the shit, but they do work. It's fun. You like playing on a beach or something, or like in a field, you like high school field type stuff. Super fun. Create a bowler and dominate. So you're able to create on this one. Street events also. Crush the carriers. This looks like it had some different stuff. A lot of people really like these games. They are fun to play. I haven't played a ton of them. They are fun. I'm surprised those kind of went away, those kind of games. FIFA Street for 360. I have not played this one, but I got a garage sale. I assume it's the same as the other ones, except it's soccer or football. I don't know who that is. Oh, it is. It's Messi. It says it right there. I was going to say Messi. It says it right on his shirt. I haven't played this one. And the one GameCube game, the one golf game, Tiger Woods 04. 2 discs. Also a garage sale pickup. I played, I think it was like Tiger Woods 10. I think I did a gameplay on my old channel. It's PS3 one. I do like some golf games. I had some back in the day for the Genesis. And I think I had a golf game on that. It might have just been golf on the NES. But, Tiger Woods. You're playing through the tours. You're playing on known courses and stuff like that. Tony Hawk 1 and 2 remastered, or these are remakes in my opinion because they're like graphically redone from the ground up. Classic games. I need more Tony Hawk games. Honestly, it's the only one I have. Like I'm talking this, the Underground games, American Wasteland. Was it called, or was it Skateland, or was it Wasteland? Project 8. Like 3 and 4 and 2X are cheap for the Xbox and all these other systems. And most of the Tony Hawk games are actually cheap. But this is the first two. Classic games. Great soundtracks you're always going to remember. You're always doing fun, like get the tapes, smash certain things on each level. You got to do different objectives, and you're on time limit, so it's very kind of trial and error. Okay, this is how I want to go about getting my points. Is okay, I found 3 of the tapes hidden. Now I got to find the other ones. Or I smashed these glass things in the mall. Now I got to find the other one, you know. Classic freaking game. Like it was like hit the schoolyard. It's like hit the fire alarms on the walls. Like grind up the walls and stuff. Awesome, just fun, super fun games. I need to get more of these because they are cheap. 2K21 NBA. I have not opened it. I got this for $5 at a Five Below. I don't even know when. Maybe 21 or 22. No, it would have to have been after that. Well, this would have come out in 20. It's probably 22. Haven't opened it. I remember when I first did a pickup on it. Some of you just said it was just not good, and the reviews agreed. And Madden 20, which I have not played. It came from a garage sale for $1. I figured, hey, a Madden, maybe I'll play it, and I didn't. All new QB1 career campaign. But yeah, Madden. Alright, I'm going to do the PlayStation ones and then move into the Genesis. Tecmo Super Bowl for the PlayStation. This got damaged in the car accident because it was in the trunk at the time. Only got the crack though. Another cool game. This one you could do different. I always play the classic side to side. A few of these games, but this one has different angles you can use on the field. Same thing, different teams. You can do trades. I think you can play different years as well. Excuse me. Classic. I have a bunch of other sport games here that came from a garage sale a couple of years ago. I probably did a pickup on that. This is when I was in Massapequa. So this actually, I'm sorry, this is more than a couple of years ago. This has been when I was in Massapequa. I'm pretty sure these are all from there. When I got those, a ton of PS1 and PS2 games in the system, I had to bring it back on my bike. It was a pain in the ass. I was pretty far away too. I was all the way up off of Broadway. Actually, I forget the name of that road. Lakeshore Boulevard. No, Lakeshore Boulevard. I forget. It was Lakeside, or I forget now. Parkside. It's a pain in the ass, but it was worth it. AAA 98. Haven't played it. Madden 98 and 99. The Maddens from back then, right? Madden's essentially been the same forever, except just different players. Tweaks here and there. Obviously, the graphics get much better, and you're doing better stuff, and then they introduce the franchise mode and shit. NFL Blitz, awesome arcade game. Arcade gameplay. I think you gotta get 30 yards for first down, or more than that. I don't know. It's fun though. You can whale the guy after after the play. You just whale him when they're going to get the ball. It's super fun. I don't know if it's this one that like Barry Sanders is super unstoppable. This came from a garage sale as well. I think this came from the same one that the Madden 20 came from. And NHL's Face Off 97. Haven't played it. This would have been. Yeah, Sony would have published this. Maybe even made it. Somebody paid $30 for this. So I haven't played it. Alright, now to the Genesis, which there are 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have over 20 Genesis sport games. Because, listen, Genesis is where the sport games were. U.S. Olympic gold. Barcelona 92. It's an Olympic game. You're doing this summer Olympic stuff. Swimming, hurdles. You'd probably do shot put in this too. And the javelin. The high jump. You do the high jump. It's on there. I was trying to remember these games are always interesting, even going back further on the NES and stuff. The Olympic games are very interesting to play because of the gameplay elements you had to do. You had certain button combination stuff to do certain things. It wasn't like a traditional sport game. So it was alright though. There's been a bunch of Olympic games. Hardball 3. Unfortunately, I don't think this worked. I had this on the computer, and it was really cool because the stadiums looked like the actual stadiums. Yankee Stadium. It was at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. Just the waterfalls. Like, all the stadiums looked like the actual stadium's sick. I don't think they had the actual players, but you could like manipulate stats on each player. Like, oh this team has this guy. He's got a 3-something ERA. It was cool. It was more like a simulation type. I just remember the stadiums all looking like the stadiums and just being like, this is sick. Fenway, Wrigley Field. Tecmo Super Baseball. This actually came from the play and trade in Bayshore before I got there, before it shut down. It was like a week before COVID, I think. They locked everything down. And I got this and one of the other games. And then they moved, which sucked because it would have been nice. I would have went there. I could have walked there. It would have been nice. It's like the other Tecmos. You're keeping stats. It has all the teams and the players and stuff. It's a solid baseball game. Here's the first NBA All-Star Challenge. I originally had this on Super Nintendo. I still have the manual. Pretty much the same game here. This is the other one I had gotten. Super fun game. There's Drexler, Olajuwon, Mullen, and Ewing. This one does not have a dunk contest in it, but the free throw contest is alright. The one-on-ones are okay. It's all about the 3-point contest in this. Like, when I first got it, it was immediately just, I'm playing 3-point contests like crazy. I'm trying to beat Jordan specifically. I'm using Reggie Miller or Larry Bird. You know, certain guys are better. I'm trying to think like Karl Malone. There's Danny Manning, Ewing, Olajuwon, Drexler, Mullen, Dominique Wilkins. I'm not sure. Maybe it was Sean Kemp, who was the Sonics player. I don't know. Who else was there? I said Danny Manning, right? Derek Coleman, I think, was a Nets player. I don't know who the Timberwolves was. I want to say the Bucks was Alvin Robertson, but I'm not sure. Anyway, Timberwolves might have actually been Chuck Person. But yeah, cool game. The 3-point contest is worth it alone. Here's the NBA Live 95. Same thing as the Super Nintendo one. Probably gameplay is probably a little better. The Genesis sport games are typically better. Like the ones that came out on both systems, the Lives or the NHLs. Maddens usually were better on the Genesis. Coach K College Basketball. I got this in a lot and I wanted this one because you're able to do like a 32 team tournament. Not quite the 64, but 32. And it's just, I don't know, it was kind of cool. I was like, oh, tournament's cool. It plays like the NBA Lives and stuff. Madden 94, a lot of people's favorite Madden. Growing up, if you were playing this Madden. No, you know what, I take that back. I'm thinking of another franchise. It is a good Madden, though. It's the best of the Genesis, I think. The thing is, I don't think the Maddens hold up like the NHLs do. And even the Tecmo Bowls and stuff like that. I just don't think it holds up as well. I don't know if the ambulance comes through and steamrolls everybody in this one. Tecmo Super NBA Basketball. This is another one I had originally on the Super Nintendo, and I still have the manual for that one. It's another Tecmo game. You got all the stats, players, teams. You're playing through. The gameplay is pretty fun as well. And this one's why I got it, and I think this is in a lot as well. I am just College Football 97, college teams Madden. It's Madden with college teams. This one I only played briefly, but it's a Rugby World Cup 95. I need to try this again. I don't know a ton about rugby, but I know there have been rugby games throughout the years. I don't know if they still make them, but I'm pretty sure like PS2 had some rugby games. Tecmo Super Bowl and Tecmo Super Bowl 3. It's Tecmo Bowls. This one's awesome. Like, this one is similar. Well, they're all similar. This one's like the Super Nintendo, the NES one. Pretty much the same game. Just better graphically. And some different teams. And then this is the final edition until the other ones came out. Actually, no, the one on PlayStation was probably a year after this. They're just cool football games. If you like stats and a faster paced kind of arcade style gameplay, these games are for you. You get the stats, you get all the teams and the players, you can play through a season and stuff. Get to the playoffs. It's really cool. Alright. Oh wait, let's do the ones in cases. This is my original copy of Sports Talk from back in whenever the hell it came out, 92. My friends and I still play this. Well, no, we don't, but we would still play this against each other. It was fun. It did not have, it had the Players Association license, but it did not have the team license. I think you could do 162 game season in this. 500 players, 91 stats, 1991 stats. And it had the Sports Talk. So the guy, there was an announcer, and he was so behind, like the inning would be over, and he'd still be talking about the last inning as like the new inning was starting. But the gameplay's still really fun on this. FIFA Soccer. This was my case of manual, my original case of manual, but I did not have the game again until I bought it because it's cheap. Super fun. Oh, this game's still fun. We used to play the shit out of this too back in the day. And the gameplay still holds up. Like, this is still a fun game. Well, I need to keep that with. Oh. NHL 94. I'll talk about it in a little bit. I have 2 copies of this, that's why. On to the Lakers vs. Celtics in the NBA playoffs. Awesome game. This does not have all the teams in it. It just has the playoff teams and the all-star teams. And you play through the playoffs if you want. There's no seasons or anything. It's all the players, though, and stuff like that. It does keep some stats of the games. The gameplay still holds up fairly well, though. And the next one, Bulls vs. Lakers, still only had the playoff teams. Great music in these games, too, by the way. You play through the playoffs and stuff. It's fun. My friends and I used to play those games all the time. And Bulls vs. Blazers, this one might have had all the teams, but I'm not sure. And then there was NBA Showdown 94, which does have all the teams. This is, I guess, originally supposed to just be Bulls vs. Suns, but they put all the teams. NBA Showdown. I don't know if there's trades and stuff. Same gameplay. Guys have signature moves and stuff like Hardaway or Jordan. Tom Chambers in the original, I think, had his dunk from like the 3-point line. It was insane. That was the funny thing about these games. Guys like Terry Porter would be dunking from the line in game. It was classic. But yeah, NBA Showdown, the last one before they changed the view and started calling NBA Live. And now, on to the NHLs. The original NHL. Classic game. This one had didn't have the player's license. It had the NHL license. Fun gameplay. Improved upon in NHLPA 93. So this time they had the Players Association license, but not the teams. Gameplay gets better. A lot of people like this one, and it is fun. But NHL 94 is still my favorite. It's probably my favorite sport game. My friends and I would play the shit out of this too. We'd either play playoffs where we each take a period, or we'd play each other. Super fun. This had both licenses now. You have all the players in the teams. You're doing line changes. You're subbing in guys. This one had the one-timers, which was a game changer. It was just like, holy shit, this introduced one-timers. You could break the glass. Crowds would come up and bang on the glass. It was at the time. You're just like, holy shit. It's such a sick game. The gameplay still holds up. That's why they made the NHL, the little 21 downloadable content thing where you could play with the players of 21, but it looked like this. Like the NHL 94. And 97 and 98. 95 and 96, I used to have 95, but 95 changed the look of the players. The graphics looked different. I didn't like it. Then they went back in 96, the regular. And with these as well. Really fun games. These ones have, I think, season mode, maybe even franchise, I'm not sure. Trades and stuff like that, so they improved upon the earlier ones. But the NHLs are awesome games. They're totally awesome games. There goes a loud something or other. To end the video. But yeah, that is my request here today, sports collection. But